Hi friends, we're back today talking again about subtraction. Subtraction can be said in a lot of different ways. There are a lot of different words that people can say that are trigger words that let you know, hey, we're going to do subtraction. So if we were in class, we would kind of be doing this out loud all together. But since we're not, I'm going to tell you some of the things that we usually put on our chart when we're talking about subtraction. When we talk about subtraction, we use the words take away. I had 3 apples and I took 2 away. Bob came and he took 4 pieces of candy. Take away. We can also use the word minus. We can say find the difference between the 2 numbers. That's a trigger word that means subtraction. We can say less than. How many are left? And we can say count back to find something. Now, you guys got to watch Pete the Cat, who's one of my favorite characters. Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. Did you notice a math pattern as we watched that book? Every page, another button popped off. When the button fell off, we were taking it away. Minusing, trying to find the difference of how many is left. So every time a button popped off in the story, Pete the Cat was doing subtraction. So I made Pete the Cat's shirt with 4 groovy buttons. And I wonder what the equation would look like if we wrote a math equation every time a button popped off. So can you help me? I start with the whole number. How many buttons were on there at the very beginning? So the whole number is 1, 2, 3, 4. Pete the Cat had 4 groovy buttons. And 1 button popped off. Pop. 4, and then we can say take away or minus or subtract. 4 take away 1 button equals 3 buttons left. And then Pete the Cat was walking along, and 1 more button popped off. So he started that time with 3 buttons on his shirt, and 1 button popped off. 3 take away 1 equals 2. Okay. What's the whole number that's left on his shirt right now? He starts with 2 buttons, and pop, another button pops off. 2 take away 1 equals 1. And what happens when that last little button pops off? Pop. He had 1 button, and 1 button fell off. How many are left? There aren't any buttons. What is the number that means none? 0. He has 0 buttons left. Okay, now we were able to show subtraction using objects. There are a couple of other ways that we can show subtraction, and I want you to try one of these ways at home. Or you can try all of these ways at home if you'd like to. Let's look at what Mrs. Kaler has at the table. I have my dry erase board and a marker. I have a piece of Play-Doh or clay, and I have some buttons and a piece of paper. So if you want, you can draw a shirt just like Pete the Cat's shirt, just like I made. You can start with 4 buttons. If you don't have real buttons, you can cut circles out of paper. So I can start with 4 buttons, and I can make my own subtraction problems. So I can say 4 buttons, take away 1 button equals 3 buttons. I can do it that way. Or if you're ready for bigger numbers, you can put even more buttons on. What if my Pete the Cat shirt add these buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm starting with 8 buttons. And this time, pop, 2 of them popped off at the same time. 8 take away 2 equals 6. You see that? If you don't have buttons, you can use the Play-Doh that I gave you in your pencil box, and you can make buttons. You can pinch and roll, which is really good for those little finger muscles, and you can make buttons. Every time one of those buttons pops off, you can make your button smash. 4 take away 1 leaves 3. 3 take away 1 equals 2. 2 take away 1 equals 1. 1 take away 1 leaves no more buttons, big and tall. This is using objects. When we use buttons or clay, that's using objects to show subtraction. You also can draw a picture. So I could try to draw Pete the Cat's shirt. And I could try to draw the buttons on the shirt. And to show how many I'm taking away, I'll just put an X on it. This picture shows 4 buttons. Take away 2 buttons equals 2 buttons. You can draw pictures, write equations on your dry erase board, or use objects like Play-Doh and buttons, or buttons that you cut out from paper, to show subtraction today.